Robinson.
God, he already
Go!
sounds miserable.
Welcome to
Wait,
what?
Sports. I got him. I feel so accomplished already. Like I've already won. I'm a winner today.
So today, everybody, we want to let you know, Amy came up with a great, fun game.
She
Yes,
says it's fun.
and yes, I'm talking about myself in the third person. But I came up with this great idea for something that we can do for the show today. Mainly because, again, I haven't had a whole lot of time recently. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, ooh, I came up with a game that I can play with both Eli and Gina, as long as Eli pays attention.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
That means you got to put your phone down, producer.
Yeah, well, I'm about to cue the intro.
Yeah, he's good. Remember, he got us a soundbite.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I take it back.
You ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right.
Sure. And now it's time for America's favorite game show. What sport is it?
I wish I knew how to do that whistle thing where you put your fingers in your mouth and go.
Yeah, no.
All I do is spit. I don't know how you do that.
Please don't. Okay, so
You don't want rain in the studio.
I need my computer to survive.
Yeah, me too. I kind of deserve that.
That's almost as good as the wah, wah, wah.
I want to be mad, but I kind of deserve that one.
So anyways, so with this whole game I devised, I actually have been looking at different sports from around the world, most of them Olympic.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. That makes it fair.
They are Olympic in some way. What I will say is that not all of them have made it to the adult Olympics. Some of them are only in the junior Olympics still.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bet you didn't know there were junior Olympics.
I did not.
I did.
I did not actually dive into the Paralympics
Okay.
realm of things because there's a lot of intricacies with Paralympics, and we'll get to that at some point in time when we talk about Olympics because they'll come back around again.
Yep.
So I'm going to start off with a very easy one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a couple of brief words to describe a sport.
Okay. Okay.
See if you guys can figure out what it is. And then we can actually take a couple of minutes to talk about the history of the sport and where it got its Olympic start.
Ooh, okay. All right, this sounds interesting.
And all of that. So I'm going to start off with one that should be fairly easy.
I'm glad you looked at me when you said that.
So this is the number one urban sport in the world.
Skateboarding.
Track and field.
It is played with a round orange ball.
Oh, basketball.
But roll.
It only has 3 players per side.
Oh, dang. She lost me. Wait.
4 corners.
3 players per side. Play with an orange ball.
You all
Urban
are overthinking
sport.
this.
Is it hacky sack?
It's one of the newest leagues that you can catch on the major 3 networks.
We really are overthinking.
Give me another hint.
Those are all the hits you get. Give them to us again.
Ex-NBA players have formed their own teams.
Pickleball.
3 people on a side.
Yeah, pickleball is like 7. Oh my God. What?
Do you give up?
Yeah, I quit.
3-on-3 basketball.
What? Oh my God.
Y'all are overthinking it.
I was really like, it couldn't be that simple. You look so disgusted.
What the hell?
3-on-3 basketball made its Olympic main games, adult games, debut in Tokyo 2020.
I didn't even know that was an Olympic
I
sport.
didn't
like
know
I
that
knew they
either.
played basketball,
This
but I
is
didn't
gonna
know.
be interesting.
And it made its
Wow.
debut in 2020. Well, actually 2021 as part of the the Tokyo Olympics. And it has been played since 2010 in the Youth Olympics.
Wow.
Wow.
It is the number 1 urban team sport in the world.
Okay.
It has a
I see
12-second shot clock. And it is the quickest team competition in the world.
Wow.
that. Why is it the quickest?
Probably because you only it says most points after 10 minutes. or if a team reaches 21 points. So that's the two ways you win.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, this is really cool.
Non-stop music brings an authentic urban culture atmosphere, which attracts young audiences to the events.
Well, both of us get the.
Facts.
And
First of all,
that was one of the easy ones.
You know what? I was about to say, first of all, she said that was the easy one. So I'm really concerned by how bad this is going to go now. Okay, let me ask one more question about that. So you said NBA players are forming their own teams?
Yeah, so the league that is in the U.S.
Yeah.
So there's a 3-on-3 basketball league.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it does air on
NBC?
Not NBC.
ABC, I think, because I can catch it, so it's not on Fox. I think it's on ABC, ESPN, and possibly CBS.
Yeah, now you want to know, don't you?
I know it's ran by Ice Cube.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I forgot the name of it.
That's crazy. How have I never heard of this? What rock have I been under?
That's a really good question, Gina.
Man.
It's called the Big Three.
So here's
I've heard of the Big Three.
Here's the next one for you.
Okay, Ready? No. Scared now.
This event is a dream come true for every little girl in the 80s.
Gymnastics.
Skating.
This event combines many different apparatuses, including ribbons, in an artistic form.
It's some sort of gymnastics because I've seen it.
I want to hear the other clue.
Music and dance is included in every event of this
Rhythmic
sport.
gymnastics.
Rhythmic gymnastics, also known as artistic gymnastics, but yes.
I thought he was right with the gymnastics, but I was like, there's more to it. And then you said the music part, and I was like, I get it.
The reason why I say this is like every girl of the 80s dream is because all of us had ribbons. We all had the ribbons, the long ribbons on the batons, and we would twirl them around.
Yeah, even I had those, which is really weird.
And we were called ribbon dancers or whatever. They had like different names to them. But rhythmic gymnastics, it not only has the ribbons, it includes hula hoops and using them in very different ways. There are team competitions where you have 3 to 5 gymnasts working together on a routine.
I need to look this up on YouTube. What?
They include juggling, basically, because they've got like not actual bowling pins, but things that look like bowling pins.
Yeah.
The wooden pins that they throw up in the air as well. They have batons. It looks like it takes a little bit of like fire dancing with it. I mean, it's like really cool.
I'm gonna post a video for you guys of rhythmic gymnastics, just a couple.
It was introduced, apparently. This is weird. Okay, I clicked on the wrong one. That's why. Silly me. I was looking at the history and I was like, wait, that's not the right history. I clicked on the wrong gymnastics because they're right above each other.
Eli, you need to do the sound effect for yourself because I got it right.
Yeah, only it affects both of us.
Wow! So we both gotta tank it. That's crap.
So it says that it first showed up as an experimental competition in Eastern Europe in the 1930s. It includes elements from classical ballet, such as pliés, arabesques, as well as German system emphasizing apparatuses for muscle development, and the Swedish method of using free exercise to develop rhythm. It was first recognized as an official discipline in 1963. It had its first international tournament in 1964, and joined the Olympics in 1992.
Wow. So wait, it's been in the Olympics that long?
1992, Barcelona, one individual event was on the program. The second Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta, the full team event was added.
So
1996 was when I was introduced to it because I was like, whoa, they're ribbon dancing on TV.
People do this for real?
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is nuts.
So
It makes me wonder. So, how do you get in? I always wonder about certain sports. Like, how do you get started in that sport? Like, one day does your parents just go, "Let's go to gymnastics," and then your gymnastics teacher is like, "Let's play with ribbons one day," and like you just like, "This is great." Like, what is the jumping off point to the exposure to some of these like lesser known sports? You know what I mean?
or the spin-off sports. I'm
Yeah.
not certain. I don't know how like
We'd
all
have
that
to
stuff-
talk to
like
a
I said,
rhythmic
like,
gymnast to find out.
Rhythmic gymnastics just seemed like it came out of a bunch of different aspects of
Yeah.
their training, and then incorporated every little girl's love of the ribbons and batons,
Twirling
and
things.
hula hoops, and yeah. And if you watch, like they have, just like artistic gymnastics or regular gymnastics. Sorry, because rhythmic gymnastic is different. Just like the regular gymnastics, you have points for different tricks you do, just like in
Right.
figure skating. And one of the things, like if they're using the hoops, they have, as a team, they have to be able to bounce past the hoops to each other.
That's nuts.
And they have to hit certain heights as they're throwing them and things like that.
And I can
So-
see how those elements from like typical gymnastics do completely roll over. I can see the ballet aspects when you see them pirouette and stuff. Yeah, I can totally see that.
So,
Wow.
okay.
Next. I'm liking this.
This sport takes place in the Winter Games.
Okay.
This sport requires you to carry a gun on your back.
Skeet shooting.
So it's known as either ski shooting or the biathlon.
A biathlon?
You're skiing and shooting. So you're in a
Oh!
ski race.
Okay.
You
I've
are in a
seen this
cross-country
before, yeah.
ski race, and then you have to stop and shoot.
I mean, I knew what it was called, but for some reason in my head, like,
Yeah. Two sports. Biathlon. Okay. This is yet another sport that originated in 1980s culture.
okay.
There are teams that compete using very loud music.
Figure skating?
No.
The sport will be new to the Olympics this coming Olympic game.
Okay, give me those clues again.
Got one more.
Oh, okay.
The origins of this sport can be found on the street, usually with a piece of cardboard underneath it.
Sledding. Oh. A piece of car. Breakdancing? Shut up. I'm pulling the Eli.
Yes, breakdancing.
That's not about to be a real sport.
breaking. It's called breaking, and it's part of sport dance,
What?
and it's coming to the Paris Olympics.
That is so awesome. Oh, I'm watching that. I am watching that.
It's coming to the Paris
I
Olympics.
can't wait till we get to the episode where we talk about how sports become Olympic Games. Because I just need to understand the history of how that happened.
So only in the last, I think it was 15, 20 years, have they actually recognized a category of sport dance, where dance has gotten so athletic,
No stuff.
where you're incorporating parts of gymnastics and other things into your dance.
Yeah.
And that's why they see breakdancing as a sport, because it's
I mean,
sports dancing.
It's legitly hard to do. Like, you cannot just go out on the floor and just, like, bust out a breakdance move.
I'll give you an easy one. With this sport, you strap very long pieces of wood to your feet.
Skiing.
With this sport, you hurtle yourself down a very
High jump?
steep slope.
Sweet. Okay. I'm
Ski
listening.
jumping or
Ski jumping.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
trying
he's
to wait.
almost got it.
I was trying to wait for that other clue because I wanted to say something else.
Most of us have played this sport in our backyards.
Hide and seek? It's the first sport that came to mind, okay? I'm just trying to beat him.
The sport is a racket sport.
Badminton.
Yep. I had no idea badminton was an Olympic sport.
I didn't either, but that's the only backyard sport that you could play in your backyard unless you're rich and you have a tennis court.
So, let me click on badminton here to get the history.
How competitive
up.
does that get? I bet you it gets intense to watch a badminton. Because in my head, badminton's so slow-paced. Like, I can't imagine it being entertaining enough to actually be a legit Olympic sport.
So, it made its Olympic debut as a demonstration sport in 1972. And in the 1992 Games in Barcelona, it made its official Olympics debut.
Wait, how do you spell bad? Is it Badminton?
Badminton.
Oh, I added an extra letter. Okay.
So there are men's and women's singles and doubles events and a mixed double event as well.
Okay. I want to see one of these competitive badminton matches. I want to see how tough, how intense they get. Because I know, like, when I play badminton, you just, like,
my sister-in-law is, like, intense with badminton. She loves it, and she's always trying to get everybody else to play with her. And
she makes it no fun, does she?
Well, it's not even that. It's, she has much better reaction times than my brother or myself.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And our family used to actually get very competitive with our badminton games.
I guess nobody's going to have a badminton court in their backyard.
Okay. This game is an indoor version of an outdoor game.
Okay.
This game, in the indoor version, has only 5 players on a side compared to 11 on a side for the outdoor version.
Volleyball?
Nope.
5 players versus 11.
This game, you use your foot.
Soccer.
Almost.
Field soccer?
No, because you're outside for field soccer.
It's indoor. So, I will say this is a slight trick question because probably here in the U.S. we would call it an indoor soccer, although it's not because indoor soccer in the U.S. still is 11 players.
Right.
Futsal.
What?
Futsal.
What the hell is that?
Is a officially recognized football variation or soccer variation recognized by FIFA, the federation, the Football International Federation, something or other. But it has its origins in South America. And the coach, Juan Carlos Siriani, devised a variation of a traditional soccer game that could be played indoors on a YMCA's basketball court.
What?
Because the kids didn't have soccer courts, didn't have soccer fields. And in a lot of parts of the world, it's very hard to get a soccer field. Or for women, it has actual more equitable play across the world because in a lot of places, women aren't allowed to play outdoors.
You know what? Sometimes that's me putting my American spin on things about like, oh, in a lot of ways we're so progressive. And then I realized other parts of the world still are not to that level.
Right. So most of the Middle East, you wouldn't be able to play as a female outside.
What is this called? You saw me try to write it down, and then I was like, I don't know how to spell that.
Futsal. It's Futsal. Futsal.
Futsal?
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, I put FO. I knew from the jump. I was like, uh-oh, that's not right. Futsal.
And it joined the youth games in Buenos Aires in 2018, where it replaced traditional soccer. And it was contested in Singapore in 2010 and 2014. So now you've got teams of 10 athletes, which is a lot easier for the youth teams to put on anyways.
Right.
again, much more equitable play across the world as far as that goes. It has not made it to the adult Olympic Games, but it is at the Youth Olympic Games.
Futsal.
Yes, and
is there an American futsal league? Ooh,
probably not.
Well, maybe because it's still so new.
Probably, as well as the fact that we have a lot more indoor actual soccer.
That's true. That's true.
But futsal comes from the Spanish futebol sala and from the Portuguese futebol, and I don't know how to speak Portuguese very well. Futebolo de salado. But basically they're taking football, soccer, and the word for inside and putting them together.
That's cool.
Futsal.
That's really cool.
So,
okay, play our sound effect because we both butchered that one.
He took his phone off of that apparently.
Which means you were probably watching something, weren't you?
No.
Okay.
You're a liar. Anyway.
Just flat out. I'm a liar.
This sport had 2 controversies this summer with athletes almost dying.
Okay.
The equipment needed for this sport includes a nose clip, a swimsuit, and a hair covering.
Diving. Okay.
You must have incredible lung capacity if you are going to perform in this sport.
Deep diving. Or, what is it called?
In this sport, you, along with at least one other person, are working together
Canoeing?
to create an artistic dance in water.
Oh, God. Wait, 2 people almost
Synchronized
died?
swimming?
Synchronized swimming.
2 people almost died?
Yeah. So because of that whole lung capacity thing, earlier this year there were 2 different incidences of so before I get into that, remember when we worked at the Y?
Mm-hmm.
And they would talk about the pool safety and how you weren't allowed to do underwater swimming of the entire length of the pool?
Yeah.
Because it creates a blood pressure issue and you could die, you could drown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So these people are routinely holding their breath for 2 minutes underwater while they're doing their routines.
Oh.
There were 2 different incidences of athletes at the end of their performances passing out.
Wow.
And one of them, the coach saved them because they saw that she wasn't doing right. And by the time the coach jumped in the water, the young lady had already started to slip under.
Dang. By the way, all right, Dr. Robinson, I'm impressed.
Synchronized swimming over there.
All right.
Okay. By the way, synchronized swimming was huge in like the 30s and 40s. I don't know if you all remember Ethel Merman.
Yes.
Yes. So they actually made movies with Ethel Merman, who was a synchronized swimmer, and she swam in the movies.
Oh, she legitly was? I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I love Ethel Merman. Okay. Next sport.
Okay, all right, let's try this out.
In this sport, you must carry all of your gear with you.
Golf.
Archery?
In this sport, you are routinely going thousands of miles, or should I say thousands, hundreds of miles above sea level.
Mountain climbing.
In this sport, you then strap wood onto your feet.
Snowboarding?
Combine things. Start combining things.
You carry your equipment with you.
You climb hundreds of feet above sea level.
Above sea level.
You strap wood to your feet.
Skiing? Strap wood to your feet. Hundreds of feet above sea level. You carry your equipment with you.
Not freestyle skiing, is it?
No. It's not mountain
This is a
climbing.
combination of sports that I've never heard of and I would never want to do.
Is it a modern, but that
Is it the jumping thing? I don't know.
No, because you have to climb. So it's ski mountaineering.
I'm sorry. What?
Yes, ski mountaineering. So you're carrying your skis on your back. You are mountaineering. You're climbing the side of a mountain, and then you ski down.
Who the hell figured that out? Who said one day I'm gonna take my skis, strap them to
Well,
my back?
honestly, it's how the Swiss used to get through the Alps before mass transit.
And they just made it into a sport.
So this was recognized as a provisional sport in 2014 and became an official sport in 2016. In 2017, the IOC announced it would join the Youth Olympic Games program in the Winter Youth Olympic Games in Lausanne in 2020. 48 athletes coming from 16 different countries competed across 3 specialities: individual race, sprint race, and mixed relay.
Sprint.
How fast can you get up and back down?
What? And I gotta carry all my stuff with me?
Mm-hmm.
What is this sport called again?
Ski mountaineering.
Ski mountain.
The first one began with a mass start and showcased the athlete's endurance through 3 grueling ascents
Ooh.
and as many descents. In the 3 to 4 minute sprint competition, skiers ascend and descend about 80 meters.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, a meter is about 3 feet. From the top, they glided down a giant slalom course. So not only did they have to ski down, but they had to go around the gates.
Oh no. It gets worse and worse with every piece of this description.
And then race to the finish in a cross-country skating style. The mixed relay specialty combined nationalities and genders to feature 11 teams of 4 athletes, 2 women and 2 men, who would hand off batons at certain points on the...
And this was the Youth Olympics. So, let me just emphasize, this wasn't the full adults doing this. This was the youth.
Which is crazy because most Olympic sports, the qualifying age starts somewhere between 14 and 17.
How, again, it goes back to that whole rhythmic gymnastics conversation. How do you figure out this is a sport that you want to do? Who's having these conversations?
Look, man, I
And
love the
exposing you to
people
these
who are
things.
all sitting there like, yes, let's be the first person to go up a side of a mountain and put all the anchors in for the carabiners. I'm sorry.
Nope.
No.
I'm not gonna take that. I won't take that risk of being the one who who means to put it in one place and it doesn't work and then I fall. I'm good. But my mom always said God makes all kinds. So
In this next sport,
these sports are wild.
you will get wet from head to toe.
Okay.
In this next sport, there is no pool.
Oh well, damn. Okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
surfing.
I thought that too.
The only equipment you have is your swimsuit and yourself.
Rowing.
You swimsuiting yourself. You don't have any other equipment.
In this sport, you are swimming the longest distance possible.
A triathlon. The longest distance possible. It's some kind of like, I don't know.
And I mean, I gave half of it away, so.
Distance swimming?
So they now have marathon swimming in the
Marathon
Olympics.
swimming.
Okay.
I couldn't think of what the
So-
word was called. Dang it.
So marathon swimming is an open water swimming contest of a 10K.
So you just jump in the ocean and go for it, or whatever body of water?
Yeah, whatever open body of water. It's not a pool. It's not a man-made structure.
Oh, so I bet you it varies based on the country you're in. Oh, that's crazy. How do you like prepare for it? I guess you just got to go to that country and swim it? I mean,
Or just, be an open water swimmer. Most
Yeah.
races in a pool, the longest races in a pool are 1,500 meters.
yeah.
Okay? 1,500 meters. We're talking about a 10K.
No, thank you. No.
10 kilometers.
I can't
That's
get across the pool.
6.2 miles.
I can't get across the pool, much less.
6.2 miles of open swimming.
How does that? Is it? And it's a single person doing this, not like a team
Nope.
thing. Oh no.
No, and it does start like any other triathlon or
Right.
whatever, where everybody runs into the water all at once and jumps in and starts swimming.
God bless them. Woo.
There is now a women's and a men's version. And in 2005, the IOC confirmed that it was going to be included in the Olympic program beginning in Beijing in 2008. The women's 10K was held at the Beijing's Shunyi Olympics Rowing Canoeing Park.
Okay.
Which is where, so basically they were swimming up the river that the canoeing events were in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm just trying to see, and then they just talk about the winners for that first year.
Gotcha. Marathon swimming. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine that marathon swimming.
Listen, for y'all, most of you guys don't know, the three of us have all done the Rite Aid Marathon together. Like,
we've done the 10K.
We've done the 10K. So walking is hard enough, but then you add in water,
Okay.
which adds resistance.
Staying the course. As natural factors ensure no two courses are the same, marathon swimming requires strategy, knowledge, and technique.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining an effective course depends largely on course conditions and a competitor's response to them and the changing tempos of the race. At sea, tides and currents can change quickly, and seasoned competitors know how to use them to their advantage. The water temperature should be a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. I would have to do the math to figure that out.
Right.
But 0 is freezing.
That's
So-
almost like, whoa, how cold?
But 40 is like 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's a big range, though, when you
Yes.
think about it.
Yes.
Like, it could be potentially freezing cold
and
or
the
like...
depth of the water at any point is no more than 1.5 meters.
Okay, so you're not just going to be out in, like, the Atlantic.
No. You're not swimming the English Channel.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, it makes sense there have to be some kind of structure to it.
Yes. So, that is marathon swimming.
Lord have mercy. I hurt just thinking about it. Like, how sore would you be the next day? My feet hurt for like 3 days after a regular like the 10K we do. So I can't even imagine how tired your body is after swimming that.
This sport requires a large, stretched out tarp attached to springs.
Okay.
Not weightlifting, is it?
Large, stretched out tarp.
Okay, sorry.
Attached to large springs.
Sometimes the things you say, I just don't get where it comes from.
This sport has parallels to gymnastics and acrobatics.
Large, stretched out tarp on springs, parallels to gymnastics. Okay.
You can find in some backyards kids having fun with one of these sports pieces of
Trampoline?
equipment. Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Made its debut in 2000. I remember that too.
How dangerous? Is it like a trampoline park dangerous? Or is it like little individual?
No, they're like giant trampolines.
I'll just say, again, let me find a video.
Oh, when it first debuted, they had all these videos of the athletes training out in like trampolines out in nature. It was crazy.
What?
Yeah.
That's first when you said kids play like it was a large spring loader thing. I don't know. You guys remember the rainbow tarps you used to throw up and somebody would have to run inside and run out? I don't know why that's what I thought of when you said a large tarp. That's the first thing I thought was the rainbow parachute. What is this called again?
Trampoline.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward. Tramp. Can we spell it? Yeah, we can. as an Olympic sport. That's crazy. Okay. Again.
And they do actually
Dr.
do.
Robinson.
They were when they did the year that they, not the debut, its actual appearance, but they do like trials like a couple of years before when they're talking about introducing a new sport. They'll show it off to the world and do displays.
Yeah.
At that point, they actually were showing 2-person trampolining teams and things like that.
Whoa.
And yeah, so like you would have people jumping from either end of the
I can
trampolines.
see
And they're
that.
giant like rectangular trampolines.
But
and-
even still, like, I mean, the height and the power you get from a single jump, I can see the bad things happening in my mind.
No. They were actually, because they were highly trained athletes, they were all really, really good with this.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like synchronized swimming, but like in the air.
Right. Okay. Oh. This is one of my favorite
This
sports.
is crazy.
On this sport, you are using the bobsled run, but it is not bobsled.
Okay.
On this sport, you can have either single person or 2-person.
Single person. Okay.
You go down the chute head first.
Oh, it's not bobsledding. Single 2-person. You go down head first. Is it called shooting?
Skeleton.
Are you looking things up?
No.
Let me see your phone, because you've been looking down the hole. You a liar!
Liar!
I was like, why is he not looking? But he can answer.
No, I'm not actually
Let
looking
me
up
see your
anything.
phone. Let me see your
Okay,
phone.
all right.
No,
As
you
he's
do
sitting
too
on
much
the-
trying to get out of it.
Dude, I'm looking at my fantasy league.
No, you say that now. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
If you weren't
Anyways.
looking before, you would have just turned your phone on right away and been like, see, I'm not cheating.
I'm not cheating.
How'd you know what sport it was?
I heard of it before.
I was gonna say, I mean, most people know the luge more than they know the skeleton.
Right.
I love the idea of skeleton because it's like, how crazy are you to go head first, face down,
Right?
a bobsled chute with nothing around you?
So-
You are on a sled. You are on a sled, like an old-fashioned sled.
Here's my question. What stops you at the bottom? I'm going head first and I'm facing down and I can't
So the
see.
track is like really, really long. But here's the crazy thing. In the X Games has versions of all of these things. There is street luge and street skeleton.
What the how does that work?
You're on a skateboard on your belly.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. What is it you say about people who cross the street without looking? You're an endangered species. People who do certain sports are an endangered species.
Natural selection.
You go down head first on a skateboard.
They set up bales of hay all around so that you, yeah. Anyway.
That's like the poor man's version of skeleton. That's what the kids in the neighborhood would do when they don't have anything better to do.
This sports requires a bicycle.
Cycling.
If
You
it
know
was
she-
really that simple,
You know
do
she
you
wouldn't
think?
make it that easy. Put your phone down. Put your phone down because I don't trust you now.
Okay.
Screen side down. Why you so... You're such a cheater.
Cheater,
You
cheater.
did it so slow, like, damn it.
Liar, pants on fire.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now back to the our regular schedule programming.
This sport requires a special building known as a velodrome.
Indoor cycling?
Track cycling, yes.
Track cycling. I couldn't remember what the specific name
Yeah,
was,
looking
but
at that computer.
No, she's got it blanked out.
no, it's on the trampoline. See, I can present my screen right away and show I'm not cheating.
Although your ear cuff
no,
just
here's
went
my
flying.
screen. My screen
Okay,
be like
okay.
this.
Put your phone down. Screen side down, away from your hands.
All right, man.
Velodrome. Do you know what gave it away for me? The Velodrome. Because there's one on Broadway that they built that I don't know. Do they actually use that one?
I don't think so.
I thought it was really weird they built one. I was like, is that a thing that big here in Cleveland?
Actually, it is, and they do.
Do they?
I know people who do it.
We should go to one of those. Is it like a competition, or they just use it to use it?
They use it to practice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because Tamir, I think, went a couple times. Although he doesn't like track cycling. He uses Ray's indoor mountain biking tracks. You didn't know about the indoor mountain biking place?
Is that here?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I believe it's on the west side.
What?
Or maybe
No.
it's down in the flats.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, let me.
Ray's indoor cycling track?
Indoor mountain biking.
Indoor mountain. What? That I had no idea.
Ray's Indoor Bike Park. Yeah, on Walford.
What? Ray's indoor bike park.
It's an indoor mountain bike track.
The things you don't know that exist around you.
Yeah. I only know about it because he's got all these Ray's shirts that he wears.
Right.
So.
And I wonder, like, when he's walking around, how many people know what that is, or if they're just like, "Oh, that's a shirt that says Ray's."
No, it says Ray's Indoor Bike Park.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Nuts.
Okay. You probably will get this one.
Wow, look at you with all the faith.
This sport is really popular in Canada.
Hockey.
Field hockey.
This sport requires a very heavy stone and a bunch of brooms.
Curling.
Oh, dang it.
Gina's over here actually doing the curling.
I was like, if I do it, maybe I'll think of what it's called. I knew what it was. Dang it. And I know we do have a curling, we do curling here in Northeast Ohio. There's a couple places in Northeast Ohio you can
Really?
curl. I saw it on Kicking It with Kidney. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
You thought we should go curling
Why?
this winter.
Why?
Why not?
Such a boring game.
So you say until you go do it. We're going to go curling.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
You are me ice skating, so it's either that or curling.
It's neither.
Mayfield is where it is.
Okay.
Okay.
In this sport, you have a very long, skinny boat.
Canoeing.
In this sport, there is somebody that sounds very much like a song from the 70s yelling out,
Rowing.
"Stroke!
Rowing.
Stroke!"
Rowing.
Yes.
He just wanted to get that right. I was going to say kayaking, but...
Stroke. Stroke. Stroke it. Stroke it.
Every time...
It's the song.
I know it is, but
Oh, count that.
he's rubbing off on me in the worst ways possible.
It's the song. I gotta look up who the song is by now, but
What? I lost my track of thought. I actually was going to make a valid point there, and then it went out the window. Shoot. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know, when I think of rowing, I think of, like, your Harvard and Yale. Like, I just think of Ivy League schools.
yeah.
Like yacht racing. That is not something you will see on a normal basis. Although, doesn't Cleveland State have a rowing team?
There's actually an entire rowing institute down in the flats. You can actually
I've
pay.
seen them on the river.
Yeah, you can pay to be a member of the club, and during the winter they use the rowing machines inside, and they actually have water from the river coming inside as like an infinity pool type of thing.
Yeah.
That you can actually row against the river's current.
I just
and
always
train.
thought that was like schools from the area or something. I didn't know
so
that was
there's
like
schools, but you can also pay to be part of the club.
wow. Okay. Well, I'll take advantage of the water features around us in Northeast Ohio.
So the stroke was by Billy Squire.
Billy Squire. Okay.
But yeah, so and what are the sailing races called? Because we actually do have one in Cleveland off of the lake.
Do we?
Yeah. I can't remember what sailing races are called though.
Let's see. Google knows all. What are sailing races called?
And there's a big fancy name for it.
Of course there is. Regatta.
Yes. And there is a Cleveland Regatta.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep. With as many as marinas as we have around here.
Okay, that makes sense. Cleveland Regatta.
Where are we time-wise, sir?
Yeah.
44 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it was just Saturday. It was held on Saturday, September 17th this year.
Okay. In this sport, you have a ton of gear to carry with you.
Oh, no. Here we go again. Okay.
In this sport, you could be on a natural surface or man-made.
It's not equestrian, is it?
You have a ton of
Do you have a man-made horse?
Sorry.
I said some of the answers you give. You just got to slow down and think first.
All right.
Word vomit.
I mean, here I am. I'm like, oh my god. Eli's gone total steampunk on me. He's building his own horses over there.
Man-made horse. Yes, it's called a rocking horse, but I'm pretty sure.
Actually,
love you.
before we go too far with the sport I was actually going with, to go with him and the man-made horse,
Yeah.
there actually is a quote-unquote sport. There's debate on whether it is or not, but it's huge in the Netherlands and Finland and Switzerland. A sport called hobbying.
What is
HOBBING. Have you heard of a hobby horse?
Yeah, no, what?
So the little sticks with the horse head on the top?
No.
They do full dressage competitions with hobby horses.
I can't. Why is that a thing?
It's what poor people do when they want to have a horse.
But you made it into a sport.
They have full competitions. Full dressage competitions. They're out there prancing around. They've braided their hobby horse's hair.
The image in my head of these grown people. Yeah, thank you.
You should look it up. It's incredible.
I bet you it's the most elaborate thing you've ever seen.
It's incredible. They wear their little, like, you know, dressage uniforms just like they would if they were in competition on a horse.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
yeah. Are you okay?
No.
Do you need some water?
Yeah.
Here.
I can't
Just don't spit it all over your computer. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
can't get the image out of my head of these grown adults.
I think I done killed the
Live
show.
radio, folks.
I think I done
Live
killed the
radio.
show.
Live
Piece
radio,
of
folks.
tissue. I'm like literally crying. Yes, people, I will post this online for you.
I think I killed the show. Anyways,
Okay.
so on this sport, you are generally carrying a lot of gear with you, but you could be on a natural or man-made surface.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Stop looking at me.
In this sport, it is very important to have strength in your fingers and your toes.
Rock climbing?
Almost, but yes. It's called sport climbing because you could either be rock climbing or on a climbing wall.
So it takes place indoors or outdoors? Interesting. I can legitimately see that being a sport, though. I can.
The first event on an artificial climbing wall was organized in a gym in Val-et-Vienne near Lyon, France, in 1986.
Wow, really? That far back?
Did you see how ancient the rock climbing walls were at the Y?
You know what? Touche. You got me there. Sport climbing. I like this game, Amy. I really do.
The sport made its Olympic debut in Tokyo in 2020.
So most of these are relatively new.
I grabbed a lot of the newer ones.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, these guys aren't gonna really know this one.
I'm glad you knew that going into this.
Okay. This next sport can trace its origins back to Pacific Islanders.
Surfboarding.
I was like, that one's gonna give it away completely.
Absolutely.
But, you know.
Like that was the only thing
I was like, if you don't get this, Gina, I'm gonna have to like worry about
You're
how
gonna
many
buy me
brain
a
cells.
hobby horse
I'm gonna buy you a hobby horse.
and making me copy.
Okay, So this last one isn't technically an Olympic sport.
Okay.
Okay. On this one, in this sport, you are combining a tennis court with a tennis paddle from table tennis.
A tennis court with a table tennis paddle.
Ping pong.
That's what ping pong is table tennis.
Yeah.
In this game, you never serve overhand.
Volleyball.
Pickleball.
Oh wow.
YMCA does it again.
The last clue I was going to give was about the fact that Drew Brees just bought a professional team.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And LeBron
that.
James
And LeBron
owned
James,
one.
yep.
And yeah, apparently there are now professional pickleball teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was big among older people, but dang, it's
No,
that big?
it's getting bigger because they started teaching it to kids in schools about 10 years ago.
Oh, pickleball is fun though. I won't lie.
I could never figure it out, but I never got into tennis either because I was like,
Yeah,
too many lines on the ground. I
We
can't.
know how you feel about tennis.
I'm not good when you tell me that I can only stay within a certain range of motion.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So wait, do you
I
not like volleyball for that reason either?
no. I like beach volleyball.
Because you have all this.
There's two people.
Oh, I see. I mean, you can play teams volleyball indoors.
Yes, but most of the time volleyball, especially on the big stage, is the 10-person team and whatever. But yeah, if you tell me like your box is this 3-foot square and I have to watch the ground to make sure I don't go out of it,
Nobody puts baby in a box.
Nope. But by the way, going back to the climbing,
Excuse me, guys.
I just saw this out of the corner of my eye.
Mm.
There is a one of the events in the sports climbing is bouldering. The objective is to overcome the most problems on a climb route in the least number of attempts on a 4.5 meter high structure over a set period of time. So they've made this climbing path for you
That's really difficult.
that has boulders and things.
Built into it.
Yes.
Really?
So it has obstacles. It's an obstacle course rock climb.
Bouldering. Is that an Olympic sport too?
Yes.
Wow.
That's part of the sports climbing stuff.
Oh, okay. So Japan was like this world stage for all these like Beijing and Japan were like these world stages for all these like new types of sports.
Yeah,
or the
I mean,
recognition of
it's-
those kind of sports on the major stage.
It's been the first time. I mean, the last few years have had the most new sports added
Yeah.
to the Olympics in a very long time. I will say, I remember, was it Barcelona? It may have been. I think it was Barcelona. And don't quote me on this because, I would have been like 10. But somewhere between Barcelona and London, they put a demonstration on it of parkour they were trying to get a parkour league
Yeah.
going so that then they could eventually become a Olympic sport, because you kind of have to have a league in order to have representation as an association
Makes
and
sense.
all of this,
Right.
and trying to get people interested in organizing parkour. Now, you do know what parkour is.
I'm about to say parkour is inherently unorganized, so I can't imagine like.
Yeah, well, you could make parkour courses the same way that you make rock climbing courses.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Because nobody thought rock climbing would get in the Olympics, because how do you simulate that?
Right.
Which is why it couldn't happen until more modern times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, parkour, for those of you who don't know, is basically stuntman running.
Yeah.
Okay, and it started in Paris.
Did it?
Yes, that's why it's parkour.
Well, dang.
It's a French word. But it's basically stunt running, like all those things that you see in action films where, you know, guys put their hand on an obstacle on a fence or a wall and leap over it in a single bound, or jump from building to building, or like as they're running, they make their way up onto the side of the building for a short period of time. That's all parkour.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So, and like I said, it originated in Paris and it spread to all the major cities. So that, I'm surprised that actually really did actually fill the entire hour, and I didn't actually get every single one of them in here.
No, really? There was more?
Beach handball.
Okay, no, save them. We'll do another episode like this, because this was really fun.
Oh, I'm certain I can find more strange sports that we don't know about. Beach handball. I was like, how does that work?
Listen, because I know what handball is, and you need a wall.
Water polo.
Okay, depending on your clues, I might not have got that one.
So, we're getting the rap sign. He's like, I dinged you like 3.5 minutes ago.
You're not paying attention to me. Listen to me.
So anyways, I'm Amy.
I'm Gina on the Hobby Horse.
I'm Dr. Robinson.
And you've been listening to
Wait, what? Sports. Till next time, humans. Go find a hobby horse.